Hello and welcome to day 19 of our Coalition to Stop Gun Violence, Las Vegas to Pittsburgh Virtual GOTV for GVP Tour. My name is Andrew Patrick. I want to thank you for watching. Today, we're in South Florida, and we are so lucky to be joined by Congresswoman Debbie Mucarsel Powell of Florida's 26th District. Congresswoman, I want to thank you so much for being with us.
No, thank you so much for having me with you today.
Congresswoman, you have a personal experience with this issue. Your father was shot in Ecuador and unfortunately passed away. You know the toll that this epidemic takes on American families. Personally, we saw a historic session last year with the passage of universal background checks and other important policies. What would you like to see in the next session of Congress going forward to address this issue?
Yeah, and thanks so much for continuing to bring attention to this issue. Because of the pandemic, I think we saw a decrease in these massive gun violence episodes that we had seen in Parkland or in Orlando or in Las Vegas. But the reality is that we lose around 100 Americans every day due to gun violence. And in my district, Andrew, we have kids under the age of 18 that are susceptible to gun violence. So it's not just personal for me, it's personal for my district and the parents that I've met here living in South Florida. I think that the first thing that we need to do is get that bill that we already passed in the House last year, the universal background check bill, through the House, through the Senate, and signed into law. Over 90% of Americans agree that anyone with a violent background, and I always want to remind people, this is people that are trying to purchase a gun that have any sort of violence in their background. They need to go through a thorough background check. And one of the things that we do in that bill is we close the gun show loophole. We have two large gun shows here in my district. Imagine in an area where there are high rates of gun violence and people are able to go and purchase a firearm without a thorough background check. We also need to pass other pieces of legislation. One that I just introduced a few months ago, which would require gun dealers to go through a code of conduct safety training. And so right now, if you go into a gun shop, you can purchase a gun if you're intoxicated, if something doesn't seem right, that gun dealer can sell you a firearm without any questions. What this bill would do is it would require any gun shop to go through training for their staff so that they can identify a person that is coming in to buy a gun, if they're doing it for somebody else, or if there are any issues with that person coming in, they would be required by law to not sell that gun to that individual. But there's so many others. I mean, in Florida, we passed the red flag laws after the Parkland shooting. That needs to be done at a federal level. And this is about safety. We all agree. It's not just about protecting the lives of our children and protecting the lives of those that live in our community, but it's also for our law enforcement officers. I've had many conversations with police officers that they are concerned that there are too many arms out there and that too many people have been able to purchase these arms with violent records.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. We haven't seen the high-profile mass shootings, school shootings. It took us stopping school to stop school shootings. Mm-hmm. But this pandemic has kind of exposed the root causes of gun violence, and you see it with gun suicide or domestic violence, and those issues are still there, and they're kind of being like brought to the surface because of this pandemic that we're all living under. But thank you so much. Thank you for your work in this area. Do you mind telling our followers, our supporters, how they can help get out the vote in your re-election?
Yes. Listen, I need all the help I can get. My race is one of the few races right now that is held by a Democratic representative that is rated as a toss-up. I have a very tough race ahead. I only beat the incumbent in 2018 by 4,000 votes, and the Miami-Dade County mayor, who has been endorsed by Trump, who has publicly stated that he's against universal background checks, he's running against me. And so this race is going to be tight until the end. We need people to sign up and volunteer. You can go to debbieforcongress.com. We're doing a lot of phone backs on a daily basis, people from all over the country joining our team here. Team DMP is what we call it, making those calls. That's the most important work that we can be doing, talking to our voters, making sure that they know that what the choice is in this election. And the choice is for someone that has been advocating for gun safety and that will continue to do that to protect our community. against someone that will never take any action to protect our communities against gun violence. So I need you. I need your help. We have 17 days to go, and I hope we can count on your support.
Yep, we will share that link, and hopefully we get a few more members to join Team DMP. So
Yeah,
thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and keep up the good work, and best of luck to you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.